Welcome to a new episode. Today we're looking at one of the big releases for the year, Destiny 2. The original game released to some criticism back in 2014, but made a lot of improvements over the last 3 years, especially when the Taken King expansion launched that made it a solid, enjoyable game, at least in my opinion. So now that the sequel is almost upon us, what are some of the most notable changes and additions that you need to know that make it potentially worth checking out? First, let's start with the story, where Destiny 2 arguably makes its biggest improvement, and what was a big complaint from many in the first game, where at least in the case of the base game felt rather absent or tucked away in Grimoire cards that you couldn't physically read in the game, but had to go to a website to find out more about the lore, which was less than ideal. Taking place 1 year after the Rise of Iron expansion, the Red Legion faction of the Cabal under the new leadership of the new main antagonist Ghoul, who makes even the rock look small, attack the last city, leaving the tower in ruin. Ghoul's goal is the Traveller, the massive moon-shaped object that hovers above Earth that bestows the Guardians with the power of light and protects humanity from the darkness, which Ghoul believes to be a mistake, wanting the light for himself. He succeeds in taking power from the Guardians, leaving them with nothing, needing to rebuild completely from scratch. You have the goal of taking Ghoul down and reclaiming your home, collecting some awesome loot along the way of course. In Destiny 2 there is a much bigger prevalence upon integrating story into each mission, and there will be plenty of cutscenes that should make the story feel more fleshed out, even in side missions that are called adventures that offer some narrative that will allow you to get more information about the destination where you found them, which is nice to see. So what carries over from the first game? Well, not much. Bungie have stated they want a fresh start, and as a result you'll only be able to bring over your character's class, gender, face, hairstyle and any markings you gave them. Everything else like weapons, emotes, shaders and armour cannot be transferred. Although I completely understand this decision, especially with it being tied into the plot of everything being destroyed and taken away by Ghoul, what's a real shame is that you can't alter your imported character's race, hairstyle or markings at all, which I know many were hoping for. You still have the same choices of Guardian, Hunter, Titan and Warlock. That hasn't changed, but each does have a new subclass. The Hunter has the Arc Strider, which replaces Blade Dancer, and as the name suggests is an arc ability that gives you an electrified staff along with increased speed and movement. The Titan has Sentinel that replaces Defender, giving the player a shield that can deflect enemy shots and be used defensively in much the same way as Captain America. Finally, the Warlock class has Dawnblade that replaces Sunslinger. Dawnblade allows you to throw blades of solar light at enemies from the air in quick succession. Each subclass now has latent abilities, further diversifying each from one another. So for example for Dawnblade you can place pools of light that can heal other Guardians or give them a nice damage boost, while a Titan in the Striker class can create walls to be used as cover. When it comes to the weapon slots, there have been some changes that Bungie hope will potentially allow for some more freedom in terms of your weapon choices, but largely these seem to have been made with Crucible in mind. It's not clear if this is necessarily a good thing for PvE yet. Instead of weapon slots being primary, secondary and heavy, they are now kinetic, energy and power weapons. From what I'm aware, the kinetic slot and energy are effectively the same, but a kinetic weapon can deal bonus precision damage and will have an element affinity, whereas an energy weapon will and can cause an explosion when breaking an enemy shield of the same type. Power weapons now consist of shotguns, fusion rifles, snipers, rocket launchers and the new grenade launchers. There are 4 new distinctively different worlds, Titan, Nessus, Io and the European Dead Zone for you to explore. And with the tower in absolute ruin, the farm will act as your new social space, which is larger, supports up to 26 players as opposed to the 16 of the tower, and features activities you can find and unlock, as well as a football pitch you can spend your time messing around in. When it comes to the Crucible, games are no longer comprised of 6v6, or in the case of some game modes 3v3 and 2v2, but instead 4v4 across all game types. There are 2 new game modes, Countdown and Survival. Countdown has you try to plant a bomb in an enemy's base and then defend it from being deactivated, so it's very much like your standard search and destroy in other FPS games, but a welcomed addition. Survival gives your team 8 shared lives. When a team has 0 lives left, a player can no longer respawn, and then of course it's the job of the other team to completely eliminate the remaining players. A clan system has been added to the game, which should make it easier if you find it difficult in the first game to find others to play with. There will be rewards for completing clan objectives, so it's certainly worth joining one. The game releases very soon on the 6th of September for the PS4 and Xbox One, and on the 24th of October for the PC, that despite the longer wait is the first time the series is seeing a release on the platform, which is at least something. Unlike the first, Destiny 2 does support the PS4 Pro and Xbox One X, and it was also confirmed to have HDR support after launch. The game run at an upscaled 4K, although it's not clear what the native resolution is, although we do know it's upscaled using the checkerboarding method that many other games have used like Rise of the Tomb Raider or Horizon, which both look fantastic and relatively close to a native 4K. The Destiny series certainly has gamer split. Many absolutely love it, but there are certainly those that can't stand it. Despite that, there's no doubt the game will see the same sales success the first did. Let me know in the comments if you're picking up Destiny 2 or not come release and why. I'm interested to know. That's it for today. I hope you liked the video. If you did, be sure to leave a like and sub, and follow Project Gamer on Twitter for channel updates. Click the thumbnail on the left or right for another of my videos, Thanks for watching as usual, and I'll see you on the next video.